Next property of the transition element is the standard electrode potential. Standard electrode potential, it is defined as the potential at a single electrode at 298 Kelvin or at NTP due to the half cell reaction when the electrode is dipped into its salt solution having unit activity, and then standard electrode potential of hydrogen electrode is taken as arbitrarily 0, and then the oxidation potential of the transition element is generally higher than that of the standard hydrogen electrode. Standard hydrogen electrode, you know, in chemical series you are observing the negative potential, negative, increase, and then 0, and then below that 0 all transition element shows a positive oxidation potential, and then sometimes it also shows negative oxidation potential. That depends on the which terminal you have used, or that electrode act as either anode or cathode, or positive electrode or negative electrode, and then the oxidation potential of transition element is generally higher than that of the standard hydrogen electrode, except copper. Standard oxidation potential of first transition series element are much higher than that of the standard hydrogen electrode. It is expected that these metals except copper evolved the hydrogen gas reacted with acid, then metal twice H plus aqueous, then metal 2 plus H2 gas. However, these metal reacts with very slowly with acid. Some of these metals get protected from the attack of the acid due to formation of the thin non-porous in previous layer of an inert oxide. Then chromium or aluminum. Chromium is so unreactive that it can be used as a protective non-oxidizing metals, and then it get coated with the non-reactive oxide, that is chromic oxide. Then next property is the reducing property, except the copper, all the first transition series elements have a higher values of standard oxidation potential than that of the standard hydrogen electrode. Hence, these metals except copper can lose electron and get easily oxidized to their ions in aqueous solution. Then metal gives metal 2 plus ion in aqueous solution plus 2 electron, and they are good reducing agent. As a reducing agent, then alkali or the alkaline are metals, and then reducing capacity of metals depend on its tendency to change into aquated ions, and they are not as a good reducing agent as alkali metals or alkaline earth metals. Why? Because they have a high ionization energy, have a high heat of vaporization, have a low heat of hydration of their ions, and copper has a negative oxidation potential. This means the copper is not able to displace the H plus ions from acid solution, and then the reaction is as copper reacts with twice H plus ion aqueous in acid solution, then giving the copper 2 plus ion plus H2 gas, and then tendency of copper to change into the cupric ion, and it is extremely small. Hence, copper is a poor reducing agent. And then next properties of the transition element is color. The transition of element from lower energy level d orbital to higher energy level d orbital within same shell. You know, d orbital having a how many subatomic d orbital? There are 5 subatomic d orbital. Which one? dxy, dyz, dxz, dx square minus y square, dz square, and this transition of element in the same subatomic orbital is called as a dd transition, and due to the dd transition element shows colored compound. It observes the color, and all pigments or dyes or other color is formed by using the transition element. And then next property is the magnetic property of transition element. The transition metals and their compound possesses magnetic property. Magnetic property, the origin of the magnetic property of chemical substance is due to the motion or the presence of electron, motion of electron. Then electron is treated as a hardly of the and then it shows a negatively charged d sphere, and they are two types of electron motion. They are the spinning of its own axis, it's called as a spin motion, and traveling in the closed path about the nucleus, around the nucleus, about not around the nucleus, called as a orbital motion. And each type of motion has a magnetic moment, shows the magnetic moment associated with it. And then the spin of motion gives rise to the spin moment, and orbital motion gives rise to the orbital moment of electron. And then this combination of these two moments gives rise to the magnetic field. And then each electron is considered as a micromagnet. Each electron is considered as a micromagnet and having a certain value of the magnetic moment. And then total magnetic moment of the substance is resultant of the magnetic moment of all individual electrons. And then the magnetic moment of electron is thus partly due to the spin motion and partly due to its orbital motion. And total or effective magnetic moment of substance containing unpaired electron is due to the its resulting magnetic moment of the orbital, or due to the magnetic moment of the spin motion. And then in transition metal ion, the unpaired electrons are generally present in the outer d orbital, and the orbital motion of such an unpaired electron is very much distributed by the electron of the surrounding ligands, and which quench and then the dipole moment particles in the transition metal compounds. In such cases, the magnetic moment due to the spin, that is the mu spin, becomes much more significant than the mu orbital, and hence mu orbital may be neglected. And then mu effective means effective magnetic moment of the transition metal or the elements can be calculated by using expression mu effected is nearly equated to mu spin equal to under root of n into n plus 1, and where n is the number of unpaired electron present in the d orbital. And then magnetic moment is expressed in Bohr magneton. Bohr magneton denoted by capital Bm. A Bohr magneton is given by the expression Eh upon 4 pi c, where He is the electronic charge, H is Planck's constant. The value of Planck's constant is 6.625 into 10 raised to minus 27 erg second, or 6.625 into 10 raised to minus 34 joule second. E is charge, that is a 1.19 or 1.16 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. And then the C is the velocity of light, 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second, or 3 into 10 raised to 10 centimeter per second. And then mass of electron is 9.31 into 10 raised to minus 31 kg. And then the effective magnetic moment of the substance thus depend on the mainly number of unpaired electron present in it. For example, for one electron, that is a value of n, we can put here 1 plus 2, that is the under root of 3 into 1, 3 2, 3 ones are 3, that is the under root of 3, the value of under root of 3 is 1.732 Bm, Bohr magneton. Then the 2 electron, 2 into 2 plus 1, that is the value of Bohr magneton is 2.83. Then 3 electrons, 3 into 3 plus 2, under root of 15, that is the value is 3.87 Bohr magneton. That is a 4 unpaired electron, 4 into 4 plus 2, 24, 4.90 Bohr magneton. When 5 electrons, then 5 into 5 plus 2, that is the resulting value is 35. Then the value of under root square root of 35 is 5.92 Bohr magneton, and then the magnetic moment is generally directly proportional to number of unpaired electron. You are observing here, number of unpaired electron increases, its magnetic moment increases. And the d orbital, the value of magnetic moment is used to find out the number of electron present in the d orbital. And then here our chapter is completed.